Welcome, everybody. I'm very, very pleased you're here, and I'm looking forward to a good day and having some fun, and I hope you have some fun too. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about where the economy is today and how to understand it and how to weave all the indicators together. But more than that, you're going to find out how to be your own economist, because you're going to go to the web and you're going to get the data on your own and put it all together. So by the time you walk out tonight to the parking lot, you're going to be your own economist. And it's not that difficult. And of course, you're not going to be the world's foremost authority. But then what the heck, I'm not either. So who is? So let's get started. And first of all, www.beyourown.economist.com should get you there. And if you're there, then what I ask you to do is click on seminars, just like I'm going to try to do here. And once you click on seminars, go down the bottom and click on charts, and don't take a look at everything right now, because we'll have plenty of time to look at a whole bunch of stuff and all of this as the day goes by. So what I'll ask you to do now is scroll down this little menu on your left, and when you get to new home sales, just click on new home sales. And so everybody should have this chart. If it doesn't work, let me know. All right, now, picture's worth 1,000 words, and it's pretty clear from looking at the new home sales that something happened lately. And you can see, like so many of the numbers we're going to look at today, it looks like the data just fell off the edge of the world there. And I want to make sure everybody's looking at this chart the same way. All right? So, yeah, sometimes the old guys need a little help. So, all right. So, first of all, does everybody see the horizontal axis? And Rebecca, no yawning allowed. I hope I'm not keeping you up. Okay. So, the horizontal axis, World War II right up to date, right? 1945 to the present, 2010. And the vertical axis, of course, is in thousands. And you can see that it's thousands of thousands. So obviously, when we hit 1,000 thousands, that's a million. So if I start referring to things as 100,000, then jump to a million, does everybody understand how the arithmetic works? So my first question to you, because I like to jump right in. We don't need a lot of fancy introduction here. Let's jump right in. When you look at this chart, what's impressive? One thing that's very impressive is, of course, the way the numbers collapsed lately, of course. I mean, but what else? Is there anything else you notice that's kind of unusual? By the way, the vertical bars are recessions. The gray vertical bars are recessions. So, to point you in the right direction, of course, the last recession we had was in 2000, 2001, right? 2002, that time. All right, you can see all the other recessions. And what is unusual now, if you had to list, let's say, 3 unusual things about this chart, Or maybe you'd rather list three usual things. I don't know. Because if you list the usual ones, we can get to the unusual. So what do you think? Rob.
I noticed that home sales have climbed after each recession.
Okay, so this is a very good cyclical indicator, isn't it? As a matter of fact, a lot of times it's a pretty good leading indicator, isn't it? In other words, it tends to head south before the economy falls into recession, and it tends to snap back pretty strongly, right? So that's a very good leading indicator here. So that's good. And anything else? Sir?
I've noticed new home sales today are less than they were when they started tracking the data in the early 60s.
Is it Mike?
Yeah.
We Mike's got to stick together. There's three of us here today. So,
That's confusing.
that's right. In other words, and you're going to look up the most recent data pretty soon. But what you're saying is it's heading south to a point that's lower than it's been at any time since World War II. Right? You can see that in most recessions it didn't get below 400,000, and now we're heading down there. So, okay. Anything else? Yeah, jump in.
Decline has been.
Yes, and let me ask you this: what is unusual? What happened that seems a little out of the ordinary in the 2000-2001 recession? Joanne.
It didn't drop.
It didn't drop. Most of the other times, just as Rob said, they dropped, right? The data dropped, but this time, no. Okay, now let's think about it. What is the common reference name given to the 2001 recession? We ordinarily, most of the time, we called it what?
The dot-com bubble.
The dot-com leading up was the dot-com bubble, and then came the dot-com bust, right? The dot-com bust. And of course, what was notable about the dot-com bust was this was a high technology boom and a high technology bust, right? The tech bubble. So it didn't affect housing. This is new home sales. It didn't seem to affect it. It didn't plunge. It had plunged, looks like just about every other time we had a recession. This time it didn't. Now, without getting into why, the next question is, what happened next? When you look at the chart, what happened next? Not only did new home sales not plunge, but then what happened? We had a 100-year flood, right? They went up into totally uncharted territory. I mean, they had already been higher than they had been before, and then they went up way, way up to where they had never been before.